Food and supplies on the way to Central Texas.
We are also doing bulk water purchases.
Tonight, how the city plans to distribute bottled water.
And tonight, another hard freeze warning. But this is the end of the road for the Arctic outbreak, tracking when we warm up and how much.
And face coverings made with silver.
Do we know what it is about these metals?
Find out if they really work. CBS Austin News at 10 starts now.
CBS Austin News begins with breaking news.
That breaking news out of South Austin tonight. 2 people are dead after a pickup slammed into an 18-wheeler. This is a live look on I-35 right now, just south of East William Cannon. You can see there is a huge backup and police cars in the distance there. Austin police say the semi was stopped on the highway when the pickup crashed into the back of it. They don't believe ice played a role in this wreck, but officers are now shutting down the highway between William Cannon and Slaughter. That's going to make for a big traffic mess out there. Stay with us for the latest as we learn more on air and at cbsaustin.com.
Help is coming, folks. By truck and plane, supplies are on the way for desperate Texans as the shortage of clean drinking water reaches millions in the state. Landing just hours ago, the Texas military flew in more than 1 million gallons of water to Austin. Not enough, but it's a start. This comes as boil water notices are expected to last days across central Texas.
After the frigid cold killed dozens in the state, already the new water crisis is turning deadly. In Abilene, the lack of water pressure made medical treatment impossible, causing a man to die inside a healthcare facility.
Texas's grid operator ERCOT faces new legal actions tonight after outages left Texas cold and thirsty. Tonight, State Attorney General Ken Paxton vowed to get to the bottom of the power failure while launching a probe into ERCOT. Hours earlier, a lawsuit filed in Nueces County claims ERCOT ignored early warnings. The brutal freeze isn't over as thousands remain without heat tonight. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Chicago Windler. We still have one last round of winter weather. We just need to hold on.
Absolutely. Yeah, this one last round, not wintry precipitation, just plain old cold. And that has prompted our final hard freeze warning in this very hard week. Temperatures tonight going to drop into the teens and 20s, so continue all the preparations that you've made all week long. It won't be as cold as some of our previous days, but it will still be a pipe bursting kind of cold. You can see a little bit of the steam from near our Chase Bank camera, which is dark at the top, something you don't often see. 32 degrees, so we are already at the freezing point here in Austin after warming to 42. Today was our warmest day since February 10th. It's already down to 29 at the airport, 33 in Fredericksburg, 30 in Georgetown, and 29 in Giddings. If skies stay mainly clear and if winds stay mainly light, then most locations will indeed see that widespread freeze. In the Hill Country, 19 in Llano, 23 Blanco, 25 in Doss. Light southerly winds, if they stay up enough, they might keep us from getting a little bit colder. I am forecasting records at both Camp Mabry and at the airport. Current records of 27 and 29 don't have a chance. And east of I-35, similar temperatures in the low 20s. Ahead in your CBS Austin 7-day, though, how about some 70s? Let you know when we get there.
More bottled water lands in Austin tonight. The city is planning strategic distribution for this weekend. CBS Austin's Melanie Torrey joins us live in the newsroom tonight. Melanie, water should be available in neighborhoods all across the city.
Bihema, we are still waiting for those details from city staff tonight, but Councilmember Mackenzie Kelly tweeting the city will be ready to distribute 1 case per family starting Sunday. She says tonight and tomorrow the focus is on those in shelters and homebound residents with heightened need.
As the sun set, a highly anticipated delivery arrived at the Austin airport. Pallets of bottled water flown in by the National Guard. Today, 1.7 million gallons was distributed across Texas, most arriving by plane.
And folks, the reason we're using air is because the roads are still wet. The roads are still icy. And the place where water is right now is backed up with trucks waiting to be loaded.
Here in Austin, city leaders say they've purchased 1 million gallons of water from out of state. Trucks carrying 19 pallets each are arriving tonight and tomorrow, and 36 pallets are coming from a FEMA facility in Fort Worth.
The real question that I know you're all asking is around distribution. And when it comes to distribution, the focus is on identifying the pickup sites that are safe for residents to reach them given our current road conditions.
Austin City Manager Spencer Cronk says drive-through water distribution sites will operate from sunup to sundown. Water will be limited to 1 case per vehicle. Those who can't pick up water themselves will have help getting some.
We're also working with community organizations such as churches and nonprofits to coordinate pickup and delivery of water to those who are most vulnerable, including seniors and those experiencing homelessness.
And we do expect to know the locations of the city's water distribution sites across Austin sometime tomorrow. Those should be spread out across all city council districts. Reporting live in the newsroom, Melanie Torrey, CBS Austin News.
Thanks, Melanie. Warning of long-lasting impacts. Governor Greg Abbott today said the state is preparing for new challenges in the coming days.
Restoring water to Texans also means helping Texans deal with what may be their largest challenge in the next week, and that is busted water pipes.
Abbott says anyone covered by insurance shouldn't delay talking with their provider. The Insurance Council of Texas predicts this winter storm will be the state's largest insurance claim event in history. In the last 7 days, USAA says they've already received more than 38,000 insurance claims.
President Biden is expected to grant Texas's request for a federal disaster declaration. This move allows Texans whose homes were damaged to apply for FEMA aid if not covered by private insurance. CBS Austin's Jordan Bonke heard from Governor Abbott, who's focused on getting clean water, plumbers to Texas, and food.
I talked to the president last night.
Governor Greg Abbott said President Joe Biden will grant the request to give Texans the chance to apply for individual assistance from FEMA. Approximately 14 million Texans don't have clean water to drink from their faucet tonight. Hundreds of communities under a boil water advisory.
We want to make sure that when they turn that water on, it's going to be safe for them to be able to drink.
On Friday, Governor Abbott said the Texas Commission for Environmental Quality started a phone bank to help water providers find labs to test for bacteria faster. And once the water passes the 24-hour test, a boil water advisory can be lifted. But many water treatment plants are still assessing damage from the storm. We asked the TCEQ why bacteria testing can't be done quicker.
So if you have a system that has many broken pipes in it and is leaking and allowing foreign sources into that system, that makes the process go longer because you can't actually do that sampling until the system is safe.
As Texas thaws out with a potential for more broken pipes, plumbers will be in high demand in the days ahead. Governor Abbott made it easier for plumbers to get recertified, and he says more than 300 have already done so, and more on the way from out of state. And for those empty food shelves, Abbott says that he's opening up new fuel lines for any truckers on diesel so they can faster get food and gas to depleted stores and pumps.
We've dealt with similar challenges like this through hurricane after hurricane, so it's something that we are accustomed to doing through the ordinary emergency response.
And for the 165,000 still in the dark tonight, Abbott says it's not a generator problem anymore, but a mechanical issue like a down power line. Crews are slated to work around the clock this weekend. In Austin, Jordan Bonke, CBS Austin News.
As home supplies diminish, restaurants and businesses are stepping up to feed hungry Austinites. Taco Deli handed out 1,000 tacos today at 2 locations. They are among a long list of businesses offering free meals today. The Austin Winter Storm Relief Fund, Cotton Holdings, and major brands like Kendra Scott, Bumble, and Deep Eddy Vodka all sponsored the help. Tomorrow, the Central Texas Food Bank plans to hold a mass distribution event in Southeast Austin. It runs from noon to 3 at Del Valle High School. While the event is primarily drive-through, they say no one will be turned away.
Now this comes as hungry Texans find grocery stores closed and with barren shelves. It was rough out there today. Those that were open struggled to maintain a stock of water and perishable food. Supply trucks were stuck in the snow. HEB today limited its hours between noon and 5 p.m. Customers face strict buying limits and completely empty shelves in some areas. President Scott McClellan says his stores were hit the worst.
I have 315 stores that I oversee, and you want every one of them to get product. But what I know right now is Austin needs it the worst of anywhere. Austin and West Texas.
So he says he's going to make that happen. McClellan says Operation Austin is what he's calling it, is underway right now. He sent 1,500 trailers out today with a large number of them coming to Central Texas. He expects stores to look normal again by mid next week or so.
School districts across Central Texas are now surveying their campuses for damage. Austin ISD now says they will be closed next Monday and Tuesday. Round Rock ISD plans to make a decision by tomorrow night about next week's schedule. The Texas Education Agency says they will provide waivers for districts with storm-related issues to go all virtual next week or close completely. It comes after an already very challenging school year. COVID-19 derailed life for students, teachers, and parents, leading to an increase of failing grades and mental health concerns. Even as power gets restored to nearly everyone who lost it, thousands in Central Texas go another night in the frigid cold. Storm-damaged equipment is behind the outages that still remain. This video near Mount Bunnell shows the challenges crews face out there repairing the lines. They say the rough terrain is slowing progress, and you can see how tough they're working to get that one fixed. Austin Energy says a full restoration may take several days.
We're trying to help. CBS Austin and Sinclair Cares Texas are partnering with the Salvation Army to help those most affected by this week's winter storms. It's been brutal out there.
The big challenge for us right now is obviously, and everybody seems to understand this, is water and food, because we've got a lot of shelters open across the state that have basically started to run out of food.
Now, Texans have dealt with brutally cold temperatures this week and days without electricity, heat, and now water. It has caused widespread damage across the state with burst pipes. If you can help, please go to our website, cbsaustin.com, and click on the banner at the top of the page to make a donation. Anything will help.
Making the most of Austin's winter weather emergency, the unusual sights taking over Central Texas streets. Lining face masks with silver.
When I heard about this, I thought it made perfect sense.
Not meant for fashion or luxury, why some researchers are getting behind the metal to fight COVID-19.
And in Austin, yesterday we broke our streak of 144 hours of freezing temperatures. Today, out at the airport, 164 hours. That streak was broken. We made it into the 40s for the first time since February 10th. Continuing the warming trend with one hiccup tonight. Tracking temps and the changes coming up.
You're watching CBS Austin News at 10. Central Texas. Trusted.
Americans are slowly getting vaccinated against COVID-19, but face masks and hand sanitizers will be here to stay for at least the rest of this year. Now, some companies are advertising silver as a non-toxic alternative. CBS Austin's Melanie Torrey takes a look at the science.
At Celebrity Skin, a skincare clinic in Scottsdale, Arizona, all of their staff wear face masks made with silver.
When I heard about this, I thought it made perfect sense.
Owner Jennifer Swink was first introduced to the concept years ago when a doctor prescribed a silver ointment to prevent infection after getting serious burns on her hands. Companies like True 47 sell a variety of silver-incorporated products from sprays to face masks.
This one here, which is a sort of a pleated style, but it opens all up.
Founder Sharon Whiteley says silver-based products are popular among people wanting to invest in a durable, reusable mask or avoid alcohol-based sanitizers. While a $50 investment, she says their masks made with pure woven silver will last a lifetime and never need to be washed because silver is a natural antimicrobial.
We are just taking that base element and converting it into product that can be, useful.
Research published last fall by the National Institutes of Health said silver-coated masks have been found to be effective in inhibiting COVID-19. As have silver-incorporated polycotton fabrics and silver-based sanitizers and disinfectants.
The observation is that these metals are antimicrobial in nature.
Brian Davies works in the UT Austin Department of Molecular Biosciences. He says silver, copper, and gold have all been explored for their ability to fight bacteria and viruses.
Do we know what it is about these metals that gives them antimicrobial properties?
The short answer is no. The longer answer is there are theories.
While scientists don't know exactly how silver works as an antimicrobial, there is evidence it can be effective.
Certain forms of these metals are able to kill bacteria, and the theories to date are that they will stick to the membranes, so the outside surfaces of these organisms, and break those membranes down.
Silver face masks, like the ones made by True 47, aren't medical grade or CDC approved to protect against COVID-19.
We do not make any claims. We never would. Quite frankly, we don't know that anybody can make any claims about the virus.
Still, those who've used them personally and professionally throughout the pandemic say they're happy putting their trust in silver.
For me, it made perfect sense.
Melanie Torrey, CBS Austin News.
Now your Storm Tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Chicago Wendler.
We're finally starting to see that light at the end of the tunnel, and it is shining brightly. Just get through tonight. A hard freeze area-wide, record cold, maybe some more pipes bursting, unfortunately. After that, by about mid-morning tomorrow, we're going to be freezing and stay above freezing from there on out, at least in Austin. Hill Country, just a heads up, behind a cold front on Sunday night. You could have some light freezes Monday and Tuesday. Outside tonight, hard freeze warning for the last time. It's in effect until 9 a.m. tomorrow. And just to put things in perspective for you, this Arctic blast has set records right and left, but I thought I'd let you know we have officially gone over our average for an entire season now of freezes. Camp Mabry, 15 so far. ABIA, 28 so far. The coldest back on February 16th when we were in the single digits. Now tonight, a different story. I'm forecasting lows in the upper teens to low 20s. It's 32 right now. We are sitting at the freezing mark. And boy, 42 degrees today for an afternoon high felt almost like 60 or 70 after what we've been through lately. Sunshine was such a blessing, and there was a lot of melting and thawing. Well, now that most areas are in the 20s and low 30s, look for some icy patches, especially any north-facing lawns that didn't get that sunshine to help really thaw things out. So icy patches possible as high pressure is in control with one more freeze. Down to 19 in Llano, 23 in Austin. That's a record. The record is 27 set back in 1908, 22 in LaGrange. And through your day, Saturday, and frankly the entire weekend, the big story is just going to be the major warm-up. If any residual snow and ice remain, they will be gone by the end of the weekend. 44 by lunchtime, 56 degrees by 4 o'clock in the afternoon here in Austin. A little cooler in Rockdale in the upper 40s, 52 meanwhile in Fredericksburg with south winds kicking in. Second half of the weekend, let's do it. Let's go ahead and put another 10 degrees on that board ahead of our next cold front. So here's a look at tomorrow afternoon. Plenty of mild warmth courtesy of southerly winds. Sunday, our lows might actually be around midnight, and then cloud cover increases ahead of a cold front. We'll finally start to see temperatures really warm up late day. I've got your high officially at 66. It could go even higher, assuming we've gotten rid of all the snow. Then Sunday evening into Monday morning, a very, very light stripe of showers possible east of the Austin area. In Austin, I think we'll be dry, but look at those lows. Certainly not comfortable, but after 23 for tomorrow, how about low temperatures in the 30s, 40s, and even 50s for the next 7 days after that, peaking with highs in the 70s on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Thanks, Chicago. A rare opportunity for one Texas team. Take a look at that. The unusual sights, the historic weather created around the Austin area. Some people trying to have a little bit of fun in all of this, making the most of their time off from school. Some kids in Central Texas found ways to enjoy the historic weather. A Cedar Park ice hockey team used the opportunity for a rare chance to practice outdoors. Take a look at that. Right on the street. They're good. They're good. The team usually plays on indoor rinks, of course, but with the neighborhood streets frozen over, look at that. Goal! They took the game outside yesterday in the Whitestone Oaks community. Family called the scene something they would have called unimaginable just 1 week ago.
Coming up next in sports, how two Georgetown coaches are lending a hand and an update on Austin FC's relief fund. Plus, Texas basketball is back on the court tomorrow against number 13 West Virginia. How Shaka Smart is balancing the Longhorns' return after a trying week. CBS Austin Sports is next.
This is the Thomas J. Henry Sports Desk.
I found myself in the grocery store on one of those days, And it was like a scene out of a movie, man. Like everyone was just kind of, get as much as they could and get things figured out. And, I'm calling our guys, hey, do you need anything? What do you need?
Well, as much as we love them during a week like this, sports certainly become an afterthought. Shaka Smart and his team dealt with this week's power and water outages just like millions of Texans.
Basketball goes way down the list, and it's like, okay, do you have power? Do you have heat? Do you have water? Do you have food? And the answer to a lot of those questions for players and staff was no.
Shaka didn't delve into whether or not he believes Texas should be hosting a game in Austin tomorrow. Nonetheless, the Horns are back on the court at 2 p.m. against West Virginia. And don't forget, this team is not far removed from an extended COVID disruption. As the adversity keeps coming, Shaka is factoring that into how he coaches his team.
I'll give you an example. Today in practice, I'm getting on one of our guys. I'm all over this guy. And then in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, man, what is he going through off the court? What has his family endured in the past several days? Is he fully recovered from having COVID? We really need to me, prioritize the health, physically and mentally, of the players now and evermore.
As Brian Davis of the Statesman reported earlier, no fans at the Irwin Center for tomorrow's men's game and Sunday's women's game to avoid overusing limited resources. Texas baseball also in action tomorrow. The Longhorns open the season against Mississippi State in the first of 3 games against top 10 ranked SEC squads. Texas looks sharp in last season's COVID-shortened season and returns most of that talent, hence the number 9 ranking. David Pierce's team passes the eye test, but this 3-day showcase at Globe Life Field in Arlington will be a huge measuring stick.
They looked great. When they came back, they were in shape. And I think you could really see their appreciation of coming back. Incredible group of young men. I don't have any clue of how many games we're going to win, but I do know that I like going to compete with this group.
For us, especially, it's kind of like we're soaking it all in, because with how the season unfolded last year, enjoy each day because it can be taken away from you.
11 a.m. first pitch. Well, an awesome update to last night's story. The Austin FC player-led GoFundMe hit $30,000 this afternoon. Brad Stuver and Matt Beasler already making a huge impact in their new community. Every dollar donated goes to the Austin Area Urban League to help fund winter storm recovery. So many folks in Central Texas stepping up to help their neighbors. These pictures are from earlier in the week, but Georgetown ISD Athletic Director Jason Dean and Eagles head football coach Chuck Griffin delivering water all across their community to those in need. That, of course, so important right now with boil water notices and limited drinking water across our area. One of many examples of Texans helping family, friends, and complete strangers alike. Stay with us. We're back after this.
We have breaking news right now, a massive fire at the Hilton Garden Inn in Killeen. This is a live look at the scene right now, a huge response. Firefighters say the fire started about an hour ago. The hotel was sold out tonight with people escaping the storm. We'll have the latest this weekend. Good night.